Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some UnderRail, shall we? Now, I'm looking at the filing cabinets in Aiden's office, and I've made up my mind. I've got a little bit of info about the progression of things from Matt, and I think it's time. I'm going to just be a Rassifor, and I'm going to become follow the immediate Samuel path. I could go on other investigator paths, I suppose. You can only pick one, but I believe that something happens regardless of which path you pick, and they all either converge or the choice doesn't matter tremendously, or even if it does, this is the one that I'm going to pick. So let's go. Most excellent. I have no doubt you will perform your duty with outstanding zeal, for your actions had already spoken of your exceptional dedication. However, I must ask of you to be patient just a bit more. Harmos' return is not too far off. Then you will be a novitiate no more, but a Rassifor. I would like to go to Deep Caverns and personally guard Tchort, if you'd allow it. Hilarious. I don't think that's going to be a possibility. Tchort is guarded by the most elite members of preservation forces. Even though you possess the will, which I admire and recognize, you do not yet possess certain skills and knowledge. Deep Caverns is a menacious place with voracious wildlife, unlike anything you've seen so far, infested with the corrupted faceless, who are equally adept at bringing doom to others as they are to themselves. Great. In time, however, if you prove fit for that sort of duty, I would be glad to dispatch you to Deep Caverns and rest easy, knowing that Tchort has the best protection I can possibly provide him. Thanks very much. I can't wait for the ceremony. I'm sure of it. In the meantime, Freighter Hannah, there's no reason not to get your ceremonial uniform ahead of the schedule to get accustomed to it. Alright, I believe there's nothing more to be said. You'll be notified when... Aiden abruptly stops talking. You are unsure why at first, but then you start getting the feeling that your guts are vibrating. It is so subtle that you are unsure whether you are imagining it or not. Aiden's reaction suggests the latter to be true, though. He tilts his head up, keeping perfectly still and calm otherwise, while maintaining silence. Soon, the vibrations grow in intensity. Wait. Do you feel that? I do. Oh my. Another earthquake. Once the tremors die down, Aiden drops his gaze back to you. That was surprising. I received no warning from investigation regarding potential seismic activity. Back on the subject, you will be notified when the time comes. Are there any further questions you had for me? No, I think I asked all these. I gotta go. Tchort guide you. Alright. So that can't be good. Earthquake time. Alright, and let's go talk to... I think this is her. Oh no, that's Amelia. That's not Hannah. Alright, let's go find... Hannah. Oh no, more earthquakes. That's alarming. That ain't her. That's Lydia. Oh no, I think this is the one that wanted to talk to me. What do you need of me? Why did you want to see me, Episcopos Lydia? Because I was told good things about you from our principal investigators, because I was told you took part in and greatly contributed to important projects, and because it is obvious you are drawn toward investigation. I've checked your record, and it's very satisfying. Before you, only Monsignor Lenora, a novitiate like yourself back then, ever showed such remarkable results in such a short period of time before joining the Institute. Consider yourself compared to one of the most prolific investigators in our history. But I digress. Aiden, pardon me. Now the time has come for you. I am offering you a position of an assistant investigator in the department of your choosing. You'll be able to select your own projects, which you'll be working on with full investigators. Interested? It's a good career. Yeah, I think I'd become an investigator. In that case, the only thing left for me to say is this. I will arrange a meeting with His Illustriousness himself, Iden. Speak to him about becoming an assistant investigator. After all, it's a matter of paperwork. I'll inform the pro-notary, or the proto-notary, to allow you entry. His office is just across from mine. Thanks very much. I gotta go. Alright, so that's why she wanted to see me. I probably can't do both things, but that's cool. Anyway, let's barge in here. No, let's not. That guy was really upset. Alright, let's see. Can I talk to you, brother? I wonder what Iden says if I go in and talk to him about the investigator thing. No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like I've already selected. Okay, no worries. Alright. I'm not really sure I want to commit to these people anyway. I'm just kind of like playing the game. So let's go back down. I honestly don't remember where this person is, that they want me to talk to. So I'm gonna have to like look for them. Acolyte, minister. No. Uh-huh. Who's this? Piam. Nobody there. Okay, well, let me see. Maybe you should investigate the cause. I should. See if Freighter Hannah about your uniform. Alright. Well, let's go over then. I guess... Oh, maybe she's the lady who sells all the weapons. That would make sense. The quartermaster. Okay. Oh. No, wrong way. By God. I'll get it right one of these years. No, this isn't it either. It's a curious phenomenon, this. Here we go. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Hey, Dr. Incompetent, if you heard any loud banging on your way here, those were the weights falling off the weight rack in the gym. The armory is still perfectly safe. Still, don't stand near the cabinets. I heard about, a uniform? She signals the other Rassifor and he leaves the room. We keep those new Vathospores downstairs. While the Rassifor is away, she grabs Rassifor armor from one of the lockers. This is your standard issue armored robe. You will be wearing this when on duty as a Rassifor. Some 10 minutes later, the Rassifor returns with a bulky-looking green robe and an unusual backpack-like device. Now this is the new Vathospore armored robe. Lucky you. Take good care of it. If you don't want to get it dirty or damaged before the ceremony, Iden has allowed you to take it this early only for you to get comfortable wearing it. No one wants novitiates tipping over during one of their most apex hours. Totally not, she chuckles. Therefore, mind the Echo Pack. It's heavy, and don't fiddle with it too much. Echo Pack? The device on the back, it houses, and let me quote the manual, an ecosystem of thermosynthetic microorganisms living off the wearer's captured heat. These microorganisms are capable of producing breathable air, enriched with compounds beneficial to the wearer's general health and combat performance. I think I got that right. Interesting. What else can you tell me about it? Well, it's a new series of armored robes designed jointly by both preservation and investigation experts. The Eco Pack and the added hazardous protection make it suitable for extreme environments. A few of you lucky ones will get to show it off during the ceremony, but whether you get to keep it afterwards, that I ain't got a clue. So keep it nice and clean. Understood. Now I better get changed. She waves at you. Tchort guide you. Alright, so we got... looks like 2 sets of armor. And I'm, of course, encumbered immediately. This is the real heavy stuff. And this is the less heavy stuff. This is like... you get a special ability. Interesting. These are both really interesting. I'll not be wearing them, but thank you. Let's see. Can I just drop these? Is that, like, insulting? I'm only slightly over-encumbered. Probably can drop some other things. Like these burgers. Actually, if I just drop this set... well, let me save it. I don't want them to, like, flip out, because I'm just throwing armor on the ground. But I can't. It's too heavy for me. Okay. Alright, let's go talk to Immediate Samuel about the tremors. You know anything about this, dude? The tremors are beginning to worry me, brother. Something is not right. What do you think of these? They simply won't cease. It's puzzling, but I don't have an answer. Department of Physics possesses a seismograph, yet they haven't warned us of any tremors, which makes everything even more peculiar. But I have more important things to worry about now. I'm sure important information will reach me. Okay. I'll leave you now, buddy. Alright, so I guess I could go to investigation and talk to people about the tremors, or I could go down deeper. I don't know. Underground. Let's see if the physicists know anything. Are you here to talk about the tremors? Because everyone swarmed here after the ground started shaking, like it was something we're causing. Reminds me of the particle accelerator black hole panic from a few years ago. Magnificent, Tchort. What can you tell me about them? We have a seismograph set up here in the lab, and we monitor it very carefully. First of all, these tremors came out of nowhere. There was no previous indication that an earthquake was about to happen. And second, we still do not know why it is happening. Do you know the direction they're coming from? Well, the readings, if they're correct, and they should be, imply it's coming from the west. I obviously can't pinpoint it specifically, brother. Why do you ask? Interesting. I'll be right back. Tchort guide you. Alright, so we gotta go to the West Wing to investigate this fun. Let's do it. I mean, of course it would be the West Wing, right? Alright, I'm gonna go all the way over there. Dear God, the tremors. Okay. And I'll save it again. Now, if I find something that I've been warned about, I'm going to completely reassess the situation. They could be coming from further west, though. Like, I mean, on the map itself. Like, over here. Maybe. I don't know. I wonder if that giant device turned on that I couldn't power before. Alright, here it is. Anything going on here? Alright, nope, it's not doing anything. Okay, then. Oh, right, there's the hole. I forgot about that. As far as you can see, it's a 6 or 7 meter drop to the level below. You've no doubt you can jump down without injuring yourself. 6 to 7 meters? That's like 20 feet. Okay, I'm going to save it. I don't know if this is... I've been warned about an elevator, and then I need to prepare before I use an elevator. This seems like a one-way ticket, not an elevator, but maybe it's a makeshift elevator. So I'm going to save it. Alright, I gotta tell you guys, I was just about to jump down this hole, and I don't know if the hole is a point of no return or not, but it doesn't feel great. And then I read some points by my good buddy Thornton Reed, and he reminded me to read the original report, check out some stuff in the library before I go too crazy, and he wasn't sure how far I got my dialogue with the ferryman, and there was apparently some kind of feat you could get by doing the dialogue perfectly with him. I don't think I did the dialogue perfectly with him, but I did talk to him a good bit. But I think before I, go too much further, let's at the very least try to read the original report, see what that's all about, and then maybe go just teleport back to the expedition and find the ferryman and have a chat with him. So let's go in here, and I know with the computer I can check out the original report. And today's quote, "If it truly comes down to the survival of the fittest, then fit we shall be." Yeah. Evolve. Alright, and this is by Aidan Travers. I was the only one still alive from the expedition, as I found myself before this gigantic metal gate which stood closed and seemingly impenetrable. I began to ponder the most recent events. Maybe this is the place that I was just at with the hole, where there was the pedestal I couldn't interact with. Sure that these moments were to be my last, for the whole expedition was doomed from the start. It has been years since Hollow Earth was left to rust in the forbidding bowels of deep caverns. Biocore had only begun to recuperate from the damage it suffered during the split when technocrats called me into their office. They explained to me that they wished to unearth, pardon the expression, several abandoned but not forgotten projects from Hollow Earth and salvage that which can be salvaged from the once impressive research complex. Okay. Biocore desired this expedition in hopes of at least slowing down its decline, which started years ago and wasn't about to stop. Okay, so the Biocore empire is fading. Internal struggles only worsened the situation. Of course, due to the severity of the task, it could not be entrusted to just about anyone. A senior scientist of my qualifications and experience was to lead the expedition, since only someone like that could be allowed to lay eyes on some of the most sensitive information Biocore ever possessed. I accepted. I was truly excited to be going into deep caverns, and despite being familiar with how hostile the environment was, I cared very little for that fact. On the contrary, I viewed it as a new opportunity, a new high point in my career, and entrusted our survival into the hands of Captain Sagan. Carl Sagan's men, without overthinking it. Few of my scientist colleagues were also to follow me in this mission, and once all parties were ready, we made our descent. Well, maybe then that device with the pedestal is an elevator, and that's how they get to deep caverns? But I don't have the way to turn it on? Not sure. Into death, at least for most of us. Environment had changed significantly between the Hollow Earth incident and the moment of our arrival, and even more than we expected. Environmental hazards, Natural predators in form of horrid and surprisingly alien creatures, as well as other unexplained phenomenon, were quick to decimate us. Bullets can stop beasts, but for how long? Hazard suits can save us from toxic fumes and corrosive liquids, but for how long? Reaching the main complex soon proved to be mission impossible. The immediate way to the east was blocked by an impenetrable cave-in, so we had to circumvent it by going to the north. After taking the first few steps toward our goal, we already found ourselves under siege by death itself, and it sated its hunger quickly, luckily before it got to me. I was the only one still alive from my expedition. We fled north and found refuge by one of the large gates. Rust, mold, and demise were in the oxygen-devoid air, as well as some strange pulsating sensation which violently pressed on my skull. Poor Captain, the only one still with me, was lying in a corner and was slowly fading away, with last bits of life leaving his mangled body, surrendering it to decay. He performed his duty to the very last breath. I was ready for the same fate, but then the large gates opened. Light illuminated the area, and strange pain from my head was instantly gone. While the lights weren't as bright as the ones in university, it was much better than the dwindling glow of my last flare. I stepped through the gate and faced something I wasn't prepared for. I faced it. Oh, maybe the author of this, whose name we saw before, is Aiden himself. It was giant, it was alien, it was formless. This strange creature was before me, and I had no clue of its origin or intentions or really anything. All I could see is pure flesh with tentacles sprouting from it in all their glory. The sensation in my head returned, but this time it wasn't trying to kick down the door to my mind. Instead, it gently knocked. I answered politely. Tchort was the only thing I could interpret during this peculiar exchange of thoughts, for everything else can simply be described as just some strange feeling in my head. During my 3-week stay, I was allowed by Tchort to study it. Leftover equipment I was able to find in these old labs, I combined with some of my own utilities and was able to set up an improvised laboratory, which was most excellent. Regarding nourishment, I still had my own personal supplies, up to a point in time. Afterward, I had to rely on natural sources. This is what I had learned during my stay before I finally left Tchort and returned back certain that what I had found was an extraordinary discovery of unimaginable importance. Tchort can be defined as a large multicellular organism of unknown age, but judging from its genetic makeup, it is primordial. While it shares a lot of common sequences with every living being, ranging from the first single-cell organisms up to modern mammals, it is not directly related to us in any way. We do not have a clear common ancestor. How is that possible? Well, that I am about to explain. The creature can enter a unique state of regeneration cycles in which it loses any recognizable form and undergoes genetic self-repair. It puzzled me how and why it does so, but I had answers faster than I thought I would. Tchort has a remarkably similar cell and DNA structure to us. The number of chromosomes and gene is indeed different, but a lot of recognizable sequences can be found there. The part of its genome that was non-coding was larger than in humans, and by studying it I have learned the answer to those 2 questions I asked myself previously. Whenever the creature begins suffering from any form of mutations, chromosomal deterioration, or even cancer, it can enter the aforementioned state of regeneration. It might do so in case when the environment changes drastically and new traits are necessary to survive. I was even able to pinpoint the gene responsible for this. Now what happens when the creature begins regenerating is this: its non-coding part of the genome, which can be in Tchort's case considered something of a genetic backup, begins coding for proteins which in turn change and rebuild the whole chromosome, even up to the telomeres. How it knows what sort of adaptation it needs to survive in the new environment is not yet clear, nor how it's able to recombine or even create these new sequences, but even this was a magnificent find and raised another question: can this be applied to humans or other living creatures as well? Due to the similarity of the DNA structure, the answer might as well be yes, and with that, many other questions sprang to my mind. Could we, too, use what we learned from Tchort and adapt ourselves at will? Could we live infinitely? Would we be able to control our own evolution and strive toward a goal unimaginable before? Can we finally return to the surface world? I wanted answers, and for that I was going to need time and support. As I had given Tchort the final look before I left, hoping that it wasn't going to be really the last one, it became clear in my mind what I must do. My return to university as a lone survivor turned out to be quite interesting, and can best be described as an end to one thing and the beginning of another. End of original report. Okay, so that is indeed Aiden's transformation, the story of it. Now, there's a lot of questions that spring from this, of course. His diagnosis that Tchort is primordial suggests that it was always down there. Perhaps before humans. Perhaps, from billions of years ago in the early days of the Earth. I'm not sure. But also, it's a question of okay, what if Tchort was the result of some aspect of the Hollow Earth project? Like some kind of organism that they built to... I assume Hollow Earth is just some way of terraforming the underground that Biocore was trying to do to make it habitable in the same way that Lemuria was doing that. But I don't know. And maybe Tchort was a unintended consequence of that got out of control and that started replicating and building things. That's perhaps one solution or one hypothesis. But then you have all these alien artifacts in other places under the Earth, which is also puzzling. And then you could postulate that, well, what if there was some kind of eternal cycle of, previously in early days of maybe one of the mass extinction events that happened on the planet, one of the ice ages or something. Some proto-human, highly advanced species was forced underground, and the only remnants were these artifacts that we find, these kind of weird geometrical shapes, and Tchort. And then it's again a journey of people to try to go back to the surface world after it's become habitable again. I don't know. But very, very interesting indeed. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to see digital literature. What's this? Brave New Zone. Spirit of the Carapace. What's Mound? Oh, what is this? He who controls evolution controls the surface. Oh, I just read a book, I guess. Okay, so I don't know if I need to do that. Important dates. So, year 1, Aiden discovers Tchort. Year 5, Biocore Armed Forces rename Preservation. Interesting. So this is... So, now I didn't realize this. I thought maybe the institution was just moved in later after Biocore had been wiped out. But they actually... kind of like Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon, they coexisted, or at least maybe not even that. Biocore was just, some of these people are Biocore. I mean, Aiden is clearly Biocore, like one of the last Biocore people. Year 8, the East Wing fire. Year 9, Principal Investigator Monsignor Giacomo dies from a heart attack. And year 21, Investigator Adoc attempts a coup. Monsignor Torin dies protecting Aiden. Okay. Great earthquake demolishes the library. Monsignor Anthea becomes Episcopos. Major conflict with the Faceless in 42, culminating with the Battle of the Nucleus, won by Harmost, Monsignor Marsal's Preservation Forces' last major conflict with the Faceless. And... death of Anthea, the Great Mourning over the loss of the West Wing expedition. Monsignor Peter dies. Investigator dies from cancer. Investigator Minty dies. Formation of Propagation Division from the Education Department. Okay. Harmos dies of old age. And so, wait a minute. Harmos dies of old age. So the Harmos that's now is not this Harmos. Okay. Lenora dies 2 days after publishing her 78th paper, Biocore's Final Dissolution and Institute Courtyard Riots. Yikes. Braddock's historian dies. Medication export from core city started. Success of investigations. Recombinant project. Gustav choked to death. Jeez. Neural pacification project revealed. And that's where we are now, year 99. Or that's the last important date. Here's the super steel biocompatibility refining technique that we found the data, like the blueprint for, or whatever. Hypothetical surface ray simulation through particle acceleration. Thermosynthetic microorganisms. Regenerative medication. Okay. Alright. So, for example, from what you can see, this paper elaborates on the application of supersteel in the manufacturing of medicinal nanoparticles. Oh, okay. Now, this requires curator or propagator rights, right? So I don't have those rights, and I can't hack it. This paper represents the results of various tests done in the Institute's particle accelerator. These experiments are meant to simulate high-energy radiation, which could potentially exist on the surface, and its effects on equipment and living tissue. All right? And again, we're going to need higher rights to do these things if we want to download them. So, okay. Well, absolutely. Reading the report was amazing, and I'm glad that I got to do that. Goodbye. So that was very illuminating. So I am talking to a biocore person. I mean, this is another reason to not want to work with Tchort if they're just, you know, I mean, I know there was a disillusion and things have changed, but it's interesting that you know, I mean, it all ties together. Like, it would all make sense that somehow Tchort was built accidentally or even intentionally from Biocore's research, considering their obsession with mutagen and trying to, like, mutate people. Maybe the mutagen is just failed attempts at altering the human genome and through mutation, and then the evolution of mutation, they found something like Tchort that was like resistant to it or could anticipate it or something, or they made something that could, you know, resist against it. I'm not sure. But there are so many overlaps between, you know, mutation and the evolution. Can you open the gate? Alright, so anyway, I'm going to go quickly try to talk to... I'm going to save it. I'm going to just try to talk to the ferryman. I don't know if I can perfect the dialogue or even get any more out of him, but I definitely want to try before I come to a point of no return within the game itself, because I don't anticipate playing the game through anytime soon after I've beaten it, because it's a fantastic game, but as you can see, I've been playing it over the course of 2 years, and I have like 190 hours. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Black Sea Expedition Camp. So I want to get the story that I can, but I can also just read the wiki after the fact to get stuff that I missed. Alright, now I don't know where this guy's going to be, unfortunately. I don't even think he probably stops here anymore. It'd be cool if he did, but what I'm hoping is that there's a jet ski for me to use at the dock. And there is. There's like a junk jet and a scrap jet. So I can just hop on this. Oh, I don't have the key. Flibbity flobbity. I'll ride this one then. Alright, we'll save it. And now we just have to kind of go around and look for where he can be. And I believe that we know the coordinates of where he can possibly be. Like, he could go to the Muty place. He could go up north. He could ride around. And I used to be able to, like, actually get his intel. Check the ferryman's locations, right? He's at B6, G1, I8, or J11, right? So, can I talk to the ferryman? Yeah, no one is here. So we'll just go to B6. and see if we can find our dude. Am I heading there? I am currently where on the map? I'm looking for an orange square. I'm here, so going diagonal and up should get me close if he's here. Hopefully there aren't too many things for me to have to fight. I really have no interest in combat at this point. The muties I would have to fight, unfortunately, because it didn't go very well between us. Let me just look at my inventory. Where am I at? I am on B7. So if he was here, he would have been on this tile. So he would have been somewhere like where I could... He would have stopped. Actually, this is where he stops, right? So he's not here. So then, let's try someplace else. I wonder if it's best to just wait in one spot. You know? I really don't know. I'm here, and I know that he could be at the village. This... Let me see. So he could go to Port Cedo at G1, I8, or J11. All right. So B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, G1 is here, the pirate place. Let's check at the pirate place. That's always fun. Completely safe. Nothing dangerous ever. Alright, and here I am. So let's kind of go to the right, if possible. And we're then going to pretend that this is cool, what we're doing. Don't fight me. I'm on a terrible jet. I am currently on F3, okay. So let's go over 1 to get to G and then go down. Come on, ferryman. Even if he is here, though, I don't know if I can actually, like, talk to him. Look at all these jets that I've cleared out. Pretty funny. Going into this pirate area is pretty dangerous. Oh, I can't. That jet's blocking it. That's funny. Oh, nice. Oh, sweet Moses. Okay. Well, maybe we just skip Port Cedo. And we go back over here. This isn't going well. I could just jump on this jet, actually. Might work better. Somebody down here wants to get me. I don't see anybody. There's somebody. They are going to kill me. Can I just stun you? There you go. Maybe he's so stunned that he can no longer hit me and I can just move over here out of his range. That's kind of the goal. I think the pirates spawn indefinitely, but I'm not 100% sure on that. That is a bad thing to see. Well, we're dead in about 2 seconds once this loads. The problem is that my the current ride that I won the roll. My current ride has 0 durability, so that's kind of an issue. Okay. They're all coming. Let me check. I can't see anyway. How you doing, buddy? You okay? Alright. Nice! The grenade over the side. Oh, priceless. Yeah, anything that hits me is just going to kill me. So I have to be a little bit cautious. Yeah, I should get a different jet. Boy, when I picked this jet up, I swore it wasn't at 0. I think this... Let me just take one of these with a better durability. Yeah, this one has much better durability. Give me that. Not in working condition. All right, we'll take that one then. Whatever. I don't even care what it has on it. Just better durability so I can take one hit. All right, let's go down one more.